So the era with Marvel and Netflix working together was officially over when everything was cancelled earlier on in the year. But now, props from all the TV series are up for sale. And many people are wondering, does this mean that all of these characters are permanently gone and they're never coming back? And while I understand how you get to that, this doesn't mean that at all. Let's get into it and I'll try to tell you guys what this means and why you should worry, but not about what you might be worried about. And as always, before we start, just remember, like, subscribe, and the notification bell. And speaking of notifications, this morning I got that notification. It was like, hey, look, the auction is open. You signed up with your email. You want to be notified when it starts. Now, I just generally wanted this because I wanted to see what they have up for sale, and it's a lot. From all the Daredevil costumes he's worn, to various smaller props, to big props, it's all up for sale. And naturally, people are wondering, does this mean it's the end of these characters? They're never coming back. This is it. Once you sell the props, what can you do? And I understand that anger and level of kind of trying to rationalize why they're doing this, but you have to understand this isn't that at all. This has happened plenty of times with other shows, but they kept going on with other versions of them. Stargate, for example, and then Stargate Atlantis and Universe. And I'm just naming Stargate because I love Stargate, and that's always usually on my mind when I talk about canceled shows. Now, the people's worry comes from the fact that they believe that if you sell the props, then what are you going to do if the shows come back or if the characters come back? And that's where I think a lot of it gets lost to people, because you have to understand that when they go and make sets, when they make these suits, they have the blueprints. They're all there. So let's say, for example, the Daredevil suit, the red one. I'm just gonna like spitball a price here. I'm gonna say, let's say that cost them $2,000 to make out of material and the people making the suit. They turn around and sell it for a profit of like $50,000 to $80,000. When they go back, and if they bring back Daredevil, which I have no doubt they will, they look at it and they go, okay, let's recreate that suit. Here's those original prints we kept, and there you go. Now, we're gonna make some improvements because it's been a few years and we've gotten better at costuming. There's better materials, cheaper materials, so let's get to it. And that's a lot of times why this is done. They're not selling everything that's there. They're selling large portions of it to collectors that want pieces of history from these Marvel shows. So this really shouldn't worry you to the degree that it's worrying many people, but I understand where it's coming from. So I'm just here to tell you, don't worry about it. If any of these shows come back, they got all the original blueprints and everything that they did with them, all the suit designs, and the people that they worked with are all guaranteed still being kept in a book somewhere where they're like, oh, we need a suit designer, right? Call that guy. So it's all good. They're just selling them to make some money, and so they can give some items from these shows to collectors. That's really it.